arm. This was absolutely incredible. We had the buy signal this week. In fact, I tried to get into it yesterday at 3:59, so I was trying to do it, but I just didn't get enough time. This just adds to my frustration. Let's take a look at the stock market to try and find some money-making opportunities. Tesla is up $1.98, up 1%, close at 189.56. Post-market, we are down by 45 cents. So let's look at what this looks like on the chart. We are just going sideways between 180.38 and 194.35. This means that there's nothing to do here. The stock is just going sideways. There's a balance between the buyers and sellers, and there's a little bit of noise into that. We have no buy impulse on the daily chart. When we are going to break 194.35, this is going to be a buy impulse. This means that we have an imbalance in the market towards the buyers. The buyers are pushing the sellers higher, and then we can jump back in with them. Or if the sellers push it lower than 180.38, then we are going to say that this is a sell imbalance, that the sellers are winning over the buyers. So still nothing to do on that daily chart. On the 1 hour chart, we had a buy impulse at 12:30 after the 12:30 candle yesterday. And the buy impulse is still valid. So we are at 189.56 right now. We have the same resistance at 194.35, but you could be having a little bit of a swing. We could be doing something like this. Of course, if we do this, then you are going to be fine. But if we start to cave in, you can still make a little bit of money between 189 and 192 or something like that. So the buy impulse is still valid on the 1 hour chart. In terms of indicators on the daily chart, stochastic at 24, we need it over 60 and over 194.35 right here. It's going to take a while until we get that. We have a MACD crossover. The first sign of a change in direction is oftentimes a MACD crossover. We have that right now. RSI was oversold. It's okay for a stock to stay oversold for a while, but now we are a move back up. It's no longer oversold. So we are seeing some signs that things might be turning around, but we still need to wait for 194.35 and stochastic over 60. Let's take a look at the VIX. So VIX is just going sideways, nothing to see here. Bonds are pretty much sideways. US dollar, nothing new. Let's take a look at our stock indices. Continuing to climb, we are into a bullish channel. This is what it's supposed to do until we break this support green line right here. S&P 500 continuing just a tiny bit higher. We are getting close to the resistance. And as I said yesterday, we might be seeing a slowdown. We don't know exactly what shape this is going to take, but we might be seeing a slowdown. Now, the stock market indices are continuing higher and higher, so the market as a whole is moving up. Let's take a look at our EV stocks. So EV stock BYD, we still don't have a buy impulse on the daily chart because we need stochastic over 60, but we have a break of that 181.91. So if we switch on the 1 hour chart, this is where we have our move. So the buy signal is still valid. You can still buy on the 1 hour. You put a stop loss just a little bit below 181.91. So, we have some resistance that we had right here. 178.72 would not be too bad. You can, of course, play it extremely tight and just sell below 181.91 if you really want to be surgical about this. On the daily, there's nothing to do yet. Rivian, big move. Look at this. Big green candle right here. So our downward resistance has been broken. This is the first big criteria that we have before we buy. You can buy right now with only one out of the three criteria. The other two are stochastic over 60 and a break of a horizontal resistance. So you can buy right now if you want, even if there's no stochastic, but it's a little bit more risky. If we switch the 1 hour chart, look at this. You can buy right now, right here. Having bought right after this break of downward resistance means that you would have bought 1572 and now it's at 1611. So it could easily go to 1651. Then it could cave back in or continue. If it's back in, then you can take your profit. If it continues, well, you can just stay in it and it a little bit longer. So another buy signal on the 1 hour chart. Xpeng, nothing to do yet. This is just going sideways. And NEO, the buy impulse is still valid right here. It's still valid, but the buy impulse is not super valid right here because we have lost stochastic over 60. I am removing my permission for you to buy it on the 1 hour chart. Let's take a look at the Magnificent 7. Apple, I just did not trust it. Any move up without stochastic is really hard to believe in. And now we are coming lower a little bit. Amazon staying sideways. If we break 172.55, then it's a buy. And if we have a break of 167.18, that's a sell. Google is continuing higher and higher. We don't have stochastic yet, so we can have a little bit of a concern. As soon as we get over 60, then we should be able to reach 151.88 without too much problems. It's a little bit less of a buy right now because we don't have stochastic. Of course, you can buy anytime you want. I'm just giving you the criteria for the less risky trade. Meta, just going sideways for now. It is risky to get in right now because it could be dropping down. If we break 185.79, then this is going to be another buy impulse, and then that would be an opportunity to get in if you are not already into it. Microsoft, look at this. Microsoft wants to go higher. We are very close to breaking 415.25. So maybe we are going to get a buy impulse on the daily chart for Microsoft tomorrow. So check back on this channel tomorrow. Nvidia down a little bit. We are very close to this resistance right here. So this is why it's having a hard time. We have a bunch of sellers right here. These lines are showing the frontier. So this is the frontier where the sellers are coming in. So the buyers are trying to push it back up. And now the stock is stuck. It's really, really stuck. It is in balance so far. Let's take a look at ARM. This was absolutely incredible. We had the buy signal this week. In fact, I tried to get into it yesterday at 3:59. So I was trying to do it, but I just didn't get enough time. This just adds to my frustration. So we had the big gap. We closed $36.88, 47%. Closed at 113.89. Post market, we seem to be up by a further $1.10. So right now we have this huge green candle. We have a long wick at the top here. So our high for that candle was 126.59. Super high. And now we are being squished down a little bit. When we have a big move like this, we have some short sellers that want to short this one down. This is why there's a lot of downward pressure as shown by this green wick at the top. And with one candle, we cannot see what is really happening. If we switch to a smaller time frame, then we have a better idea of what's happening. And even switching on the 5-minute chart, we have an even better idea. Look at this. On the 5-minute chart, we had a congestion zone between 115.20 and 123.49. And then we started making higher lows. This is usually an indication that we are going to break this, but we did not break it. We started to break this support right here. And now we are even outside of this congestion zone. I am still not in because I'm just watching it to see what the stock is going to tell me. Right now on the 5-minute chart, it is just telling me that it wants to go lower. And even at 114.70, which is the post-market prices, this is not getting us above 115.20. So far, I can only analyze what's in front of me. And what's in front of me is that I don't want to get back in because it does not seem to even want to get back into the congestion zone. If tomorrow it wants to get back into the congestion zone, I would personally wait for a break of 123.49 in order to consider this a buy impulse, showing us that most likely it is going to continue. Right now, we have no indication that it wants to, so I'm just going to stay put. And we don't even have stochastic over 60. This is how I deal with this when there's only one daily candle to base my decisions on. I would love to have several daily candles or at least a dozen hourly candles so that I can see a little bit more what is going to happen for a longer term. When we are looking at the 5-minute time frame, we can see patterns, but those patterns don't last as long as when we identify the same patterns on the daily chart. Anyway, I don't want to bore you to death with this. Palantier, fantastic Palantier. So happy we are up 91 cents, 3.86%, close at 24.51. Post-market, we seem to be continuing. We have broken this upper channel resistance right here. We broke it, we closed above it. So next stop is really this area right here, 27.53 or so. This is where we could be going. AMD just going sideways. Gold also. Silver gained back 761. This one is zigzagging like crazy. We are still a downward trend, so nothing to do much. Bitcoin, we have a buy impulse right here. We have an imbalance. The buyers are winning this round right here. So we broke 44,706. So this means that if you wanted to have a buy opportunity to get back into Bitcoin or buy more, this is the time right now. Ripple is just going sideways. Neo battery material showing some strength. This break of 26.5 is important. We don't have stochastic over 60, but at least it's a break of a horizontal resistance. So, if you really want to get into it, you can do so right now with a little bit more risk. If you want a little bit less risk, we need to have stochastic over 60. And Nouveau Graphite is going nowhere. So Tesla is doing not too bad. The number to remember, 194.35. You heard it here. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you like what I do, you can become a YouTube member. Click on my TradingView affiliate link. I'm going to wish you a great evening. We are going to talk tomorrow, and I'm going to tell you à la prochaine.